Today's bout is between Juliet Ukah and Jane Osigwe in the women's strawweight division, 115 pounds. These two women are from the same country, Nigeria, and it's particularly heartbreaking for me as a Nigerian because it puts two of our best women against each other. But as they say in sports, the game is the game.
The Professional Fighters League has officially announced an electrifying women's flyweight showdown scheduled for April 10, 2026, as Juliet Ukah and Jane Osigwe step into the cage with more than just a win on the line. This matchup carries significant implications for the future of the division, and possibly the most important name at the top of it all, Dakota Ditcheva. In a division led by Ditcheva's dynamic striking, fast pace, and consistent dominance, contenders don't just need victories, they need statements. Both Ukah and Osigwe are talented, hungry athletes capable of delivering exactly that. But on April 10th, the stakes rose higher than ever. The winner of this fight could very well emerge as the next legitimate threat to Ditcheva's reign, setting the stage for one of the most compelling rivalries in women's MMA today. Juliet Ukah has been steadily rising through the ranks with a combination of explosive striking and sharp grappling. Known for her aggressive pace, Ukah pushes opponents from the opening bell, forcing them to make mistakes under pressure. Her previous fights show that she thrives in high-stakes environments, often finding ways to adapt mid-fight and exploit weaknesses. Ukah's path to April 10th has been built on consistency, discipline, and an unyielding will to prove herself as more than just another competitor in the PFL roster.
Gabba's starting to stand in front of Juliet. Big combination.
Oh my goodness.
Covering up. Big body. Juliet, oh look at the finish.
Oh, amazing performance.
Golden
skills, you know, to that kind of level. Goes left to the body and then switches that lead hook.
body work was absolutely fantastic. There's Ukah, that's for Juliet Ukah we know, going for the finish. Demar, has she staked her claim for a women's strawweight division at PFL Africa 2026? That's the question.
Jane Osigwe, on the other hand, brings a different style to the table. Her striking is precise and calculated, relying on timing and counterattacks rather than constant forward pressure. Osigwe has a knack for reading opponents and exploiting openings that others might miss. Her patience inside the cage can frustrate aggressive fighters like Ukah, forcing them to overcommit or take risks that lead to mistakes. Osigwe's previous bouts demonstrate not only technical skill, but also mental toughness, a critical attribute when preparing to step up against elite competition. Let's delve deeper into what each fighter brings to the cage and how that might translate into a potential fight against Ditcheva. Juliet Ukah is aggressive and high volume. Against a fighter like Dakota, Ukah would likely need to maintain relentless pressure while avoiding overextension. Her grappling skills could be an advantage if she can mix in clinches and takedowns, forcing Dakota to fight in uncomfortable spaces. However, the risk lies in stamina management. Pushing too hard too fast could leave openings for a fighter as precise and fast as Ditcheva to exploit.
Wonderful exchange from both fighters. Jane has to hold about. She lets go for a takedown. She gets different times, and she has a lot of experience. She's actually billed as the most experienced female fighter on the list. No surprise. Juliet is trying to mount pressure, and Jane is in trouble. Jane is in trouble in a way. Oh my goodness! Will the referee stop it? How can she get out of this? Jane is a supporting fans. I'm not so happy about it, but
Jane Osigwe's patient counter-striking approach offers a different pathway. If she wins against Ukah, Osigwe could argue that her strategic, measured style is better suited to handling Dakota's speed and power. Her ability to control tempo and pick her moments carefully could neutralize some of Ditcheva's natural aggression. Yet, Osigwe will need to prove she can deal with fighters who are not just defensive but relentless. Ukah is the perfect proving ground for this.
Big combination.
Oh my goodness.
Covering up.
Body.
Juliet, oh look at the finish.
Oh, amazing performance.
Golden Bones takes the win with a first round finish.
In essence, the April 10th fight serves as a litmus test. Ukah's victory would suggest that power and aggression might be enough to challenge Ditcheva, while Osigwe's win would imply that strategy, patience, and fight IQ are equally crucial. Fighting in the PFL isn't only about physical skill, it's about mental readiness. Both Ukah and Osigwe are aware of what's at stake. The psychological edge comes from past experiences, resilience under pressure, and the ability to handle high-stakes moments with composure. For Ukah, the fight represents a chance to validate her upward trajectory. She's already tasted success, but has yet to secure a win that sends a message to the division's top fighters. A dominant performance would establish her as more than a rising prospect. It would make her a credible, dangerous opponent for Dakota Ditcheva.
Kicks at all and not checking them as well. I think just obviously the boxing experience, it takes time. Oh, beautiful.
Great right hand. DeMarc Gabba starting to stand in front of Juliet. Big combination.
Oh my goodness.
Covering up. Body. Juliet, oh, look at the finish.
Oh, amazing performance.
Golden Bones takes the win with the first round finish.
Osigwe, meanwhile, is fighting not just for herself, but to prove that patience and precision can overcome aggression. A victory would reinforce her style's effectiveness and signal to Ditcheva that she's capable of handling the intensity and unpredictability of top-level competition. Psychologically, a win here could also give Osigwe the confidence to issue a direct call-out, asserting herself as a real threat to the division leader. So what does this fight mean for Dakota Ditcheva? The winner, whether it's Ukah or Osigwe, will have the narrative, the momentum, and potentially the skill set to pose a legitimate challenge. Ditcheva will be watching closely, and her camp will likely analyze the fight in detail to understand potential weaknesses or trends to exploit.
Y Marcos Rosales anotó 29, 28, 29, 28. La ganadora por decisión dividida. Your winner by split decision, Alexa.
What? Alexa Grasso.
She's not a fighter who's shown any exploitable weaknesses today.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, you told me your key tonight was just to be confident, to be you. How happy are you with your performance and what I believe?
UFC flyweight champion Alexa Grasso has just sent a surprising message to rising star Dakota Ditcheva, and let me tell you, Dakota's response is fire. This potential fantasy matchup has the entire MMA community buzzing, and we're breaking down everything you need to know. Alexa Grasso, the current UFC flyweight champion and one of the most technical strikers in women's MMA, recently spoke about Dakota Ditcheva in an interview that's now making waves across social media.
Shown any exploitable weaknesses today.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, you told me your key tonight was just to be confident, to be you. How happy are you with your performance and what I believe was the best fight of the night so far?
And honestly, what she said was not what anyone expected. Listen to what Grasso had to say. Well, I think she has one of the best bodies in MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, because she's a veteran, and I saw her fights. When I didn't fight in the big time, I was like, wow, those girls are amazing. And now to fight, I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure, and it's really a blessing for me.
Well, I think she has one of the best bodies in the MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, because she's a veteran, and I saw her fights, and I was when I didn't fight in a big time, I was like, whoa, those girls are amazing, and now I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure, and it's really a blessing for me.
Now, wait a minute. Let's break this down. Alexa Grasso, a UFC champion who just beat Valentina Shevchenko, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, is showing this level of respect to Dakota Ditcheva. That's huge. But here's the thing that's got everyone talking. Is this genuine respect, or is there something else going on here? Some fans are saying Grasso is being humble and classy. Others think she might be underestimating herself or even playing mind games. Dakota Ditcheva is an absolute monster in the PFL, don't get me wrong. She's undefeated, she's devastating in the cage, and she comes from an elite Muay Thai background with a record of 11-0 in MMA. But the fact that a UFC champion is speaking about her this way, that tells you everything about how seriously the top fighters are taking Dakota's rise. Now, if you thought Dakota was going to just accept those compliments and stay quiet, you don't know Dakota Ditcheva. The PFL champion fired back with a statement that shows exactly why she's one of the most confident and dangerous fighters in the sport right now. Here's what she said. People see that when I win this season now and beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Taila Santos. As soon as I beat them, I think what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year? And you've got to be like that, you know. It's about time that I actually believe in what I can do. But she didn't stop there. Dakota continued. I think people say to me, oh, she's not fought this person, she's not fought that person. Or they say, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights. Whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early. So I make it look easy sometimes.
When I win this season now and, you know, say I beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Taila Santos, as soon as I've beat them, I think, what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year, yeah. Yeah, and you've got to be like that, you know, and it's about time that I actually believe in what I can do. You know, I think people say to me, you know, oh, she's not fought this person, she's not fought that person. Well, or they say to me, you know, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights. Whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early, so I make it look easy sometimes.
That right there is championship mentality. Dakota's basically saying, I don't care what the critics say, I'm finishing elite fighters and I'm doing it fast. And you know what? The numbers back her up. She's 15-0 with 9 finishes. That's an 82% finish rate. This response shows that Dakota isn't intimidated by anyone, not even a UFC champion. She's focused on her own path, and she genuinely believes she's the best in the world. That's the kind of confidence you need to become a legend in this sport. But wait, there's more. Dakota Ditcheva took to Twitter to make sure her message was crystal clear. She posted, "Respect to Alexa, but when we meet, it's going to be different. I'm built for this. Championship level is where I belong." First, experience. Alexa has fought the absolute best. She's faced killers like Valentina Shevchenko twice, Viviana Araujo, and Carla Esparza. She knows what it takes to perform under the brightest lights in the sport. Second, her boxing is absolutely world-class, clean, technical, efficient. She doesn't waste energy, and she rarely gets hit clean. Her footwork allows her to control range and dictate the pace.
From Guadalajara, Mexico, with 3 wins via form of knockout, would you please welcome Alexa Grasso?
You have the best move when it comes to, you know...
Third, championship composure. She's been in 5 rounds with Valentina Shevchenko. She's survived adversity and found ways to win. That mental toughness is invaluable. First, her Muay Thai is absolutely devastating. With 11-1 record in Muay Thai, including multiple championships, her clinch work, elbows, and knees are on another level. She's one of the most dangerous fighters in close range in all of MMA. Second, her finishing ability. Dakota doesn't just win fights, she ends them. 9 finishes in 11 fights speaks to her killer instinct. When she smells blood, it's over. Third, her physical attributes. Dakota is tall, rangy, and uses her reach incredibly well. She can fight from the outside with kicks, then close the distance and destroy you in the clinch.
Angela Hill.
From Guadalajara, Mexico, with 3 wins via form of knockout, would you please welcome Alexa Grasso?
Yeah, best.
Here's what makes this matchup so interesting. Dakota is young, hungry, and fighting like she has nothing to lose. Alexa is battle-tested and proven at the highest level. If this fight happens in the early rounds, Dakota's aggression and finishing power could be too much. But if Alexa can survive the early storm and drag Dakota into deep waters, her experience and technical superiority could take over.
The planet right now, fantastic strikers, veterans, future legends of the game here.
For sure.
Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble.
Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
Introducing first, out of the blue corner, she stands at 173 centimeters tall, weighing in at 125 pounds, holding a Muay Thai and kickboxing record of 31 wins and 5 losses. Training out of Fairtex Training Center, representing Sweden, Smilla the Hurricane Sundell.
The woman who is about to destroy Dakota Ditcheva's undefeated streak just showed the whole world exactly what she's capable of.
Muay Thai to smithereens. From Smilla Sundell in the corner, you've got to return.
Her name is Smilla Sundell. She is 21 years old. She hits like a truck, and the MMA world is not ready. And the MMA community is calling Smilla Sundell Dakota 2.0. Dakota Ditcheva, the baddest woman on the planet, 15 wins, 0 losses, PFL world champion, has a problem. A big problem. And her name is the Hurricane.
Club and a right hand. Oh, another one. Big roll. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand of face. Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva.
Let's start from the beginning, because a lot of you might be sleeping on this girl, and trust me, that's a mistake. Smilla Sundell was born on November 12, 2004, in Sundbyberg, Sweden. Yes, 2004. She is 21 years old. She started karate at 5 for self-defense. I tried Muay Thai at 10 on vacation in Thailand, and by the time she was 12, her family had moved to Koh Samui, Thailand, and she went all in. At 15, when most kids are worried about school, Smilla stayed behind in Thailand alone to chase her dream. No family, no safety net, just her in the gym. By 16, she was already ranked #1 female featherweight Muay Thai fighter in the world by the WBC Muay Thai. And at just 17 years and 5 months old, she became the youngest person in history to win a world title in Muay Thai by beating Jackie Bunton for the One Women's Strawweight Championship. 17 years old, she now has a record of 36 wins, 23 of them by knockout or TKO, 5 losses and 1 draw. This girl is the real deal.
With her signature aggressive style. Ooh, nice body shot.
Oh my God, it's double time. Santos didn't move on toward the end of the second. And it's over. Smilla Sundell.
Now here's where it gets really interesting for MMA fans. After her time in One Championship, where she lost her Muay Thai title due to a weight miss, Smilla Sundell was released from the One roster in August 2025 when her weight exceeded the heaviest women's weight class. But did she quit? Did she go home? Absolutely not. In October 2025, amateur MMA promotion Tough and Uff announced that Smilla Sundell had signed with them and would be making her MMA debut. And on January 22, 2026, she stepped into that cage for the first time in MMA and did this. First round. Knees and elbows. TKO. Miranda Barber didn't know what hit her. 4 minutes 54 seconds and it was done. The Hurricane didn't just arrive in MMA, she landed like a bomb. Now let's talk about why people are already calling Smilla Sundell Dakota 2. Think about it. Dakota Ditcheva came from Muay Thai. Elite striking background. Won world titles young. Moved to MMA and started finishing everybody in the first round. Sound familiar? Smilla Sundell, Muay Thai world champion at 17. Youngest ever. Elite striking. Moves to MMA and finishes her opponent in round 1 on debut. The blueprint is identical. But here's what makes Smilla potentially even more dangerous. She is bigger. She's 5'8". Long reach. Heavy hands. 23 knockouts in Muay Thai alone. Dakota is elite, but Smilla is built the exact same way, just 4 years younger and still growing. The MMA world created Dakota Ditcheva, and now, it looks like it just created her replacement. And when word got around about Smilla's MMA debut, Dakota Ditcheva was not silent. She took to X, formerly Twitter, and posted, "Respect to Smilla for making the jump to MMA. The striking is elite, no question. But this is a different world. Come find me when you're ready." Now that is a message. That is a challenge. That is Dakota Ditcheva doing what she always does. Staying unbothered, staying focused, but also letting the whole world know. She sees you, Smilla.
The planet right now. Fantastic strikers, veterans. Future legends of the game here.
For sure.
Santos
is in big trouble.
Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
The fans went crazy in the replies. Some said Dakota is nervous. Others said she's just being respectful. But everyone agreed on one thing. This matchup is inevitable. So let's be honest here. Is Smilla Sundell the biggest threat to Dakota Ditcheva's undefeated run? Right now Dakota is at 15-0. She just handled Sumiko Inaba by unanimous decision. She's the PFL Women's Flyweight Champion. She was Female Fighter of the Year in 2024 across ESPN, MMA Junkie, Combat Press, you name it.
Against defense with body shots.
Combination again, punching her way out of these clinches.
Inaba not able to match speed on the outside.
Crashing in again.
Got beautiful knee.
Out of the clinch is really working for Ditcheva. She gets the turn under the knee, finds its way to the face of Sumiko Inaba, and an elbow from Dakota.
Inaba can't take a lot of those knees.
Nobody has been close to stopping her, but Smilla Sundell is different. She has the style, she has the power, she has a Muay Thai IQ, she has aggression, and most importantly, she has time on her side. While Dakota has to defend her title and keep proving herself at the top, Smilla is just getting started. Every fight she gets sharper, every round she gets more dangerous. And if Smilla keeps finishing people the way she did on debut, it's only a matter of time before these two are in the same building, same cage, same night. And on that night, nobody knows what happens. Smilla Sundell is not a hype train. She is not a highlight reel waiting to happen. She is a problem. A 21-year-old world title-winning first-round finishing problem. And the MMA world just got put on notice. Dakota Ditcheva is the best women's MMA fighter outside the UFC right now. But the hurricane is coming, and she does not slow down. You've been warned.
Achiever's on a mission here, my friend. Really is. Very strong.
Yep, a little bit over each other in the clinch there, Vinny, and those look good on the outside as we're starting here. Push kick to the face, followed by hands.
Class head there. Good push kick there from Achiever, setting up good hands as well.
Georgina van der Linden sent a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva. She called her out, questioned her hype, and made it clear she wasn't intimidated by the young prospect everyone was talking about. The Dutch challenger believed she had what it took to expose Dakota in her professional debut.
Rond 9 uur, dus ik denk over een stuk of 5 partijen.
Oké, dus hoe voel je?
Goed, sterk, altijd, ja.
Dit is niet zomaar gevecht, dit is een...
Wereldtitelgevecht. Yes.
Dat is een bijzonder iets dus.
Ja, voor mij eigenlijk wel. Ja, als ik dit had gewonnen, weet ik toch wel eigenlijk dat ik de beste ben van de wereld op min 57.
But Dakota, she didn't flinch, she didn't trash talk. She simply responded with ice-cold confidence. I'm definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show, so I'm excited to put a show on.
I'm definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show, so I'm excited to put a show on.
Short, simple, deadly, and then came the Twitter post that sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. Dakota took to social media with a message that would haunt Georgina in the days leading up to the fight. The confidence wasn't just talk, It was a promise. February 2016, Bulgaria. 2 fighters, 1 ring, and only one would walk out with their reputation intact. From the second that opening bell rang, it was clear, this wasn't going to be a learning experience for Dakota. This was a demonstration. Dakota Ditcheva took control of the center of the ring with the composure of a seasoned veteran, not a fighter making her debut. The footwork was sharp, the jab was stiff, and Georgina, she was already being kept at bay. Commentator, very aggressive, good hands as well. Georgina looks like a very strong girl too.
Aggressive, Danny.
It's very aggressive, good hands as well, but tell you, Georgina looks like a very strong girl too, Vinny.
Good knee that from Ditcheva.
Straight through the centre, yeah.
Ditcheva's on a mission here, my friend. Really is. Very strong.
But here's what separated Dakota from everyone else. She didn't rush. She didn't waste energy trying to make a highlight reel in round 1. Instead, she calculated. Every punch was measured. Every kick was timed to perfection. Commentator, good push kick there from Ditcheva, setting up good hands as well. Georgina tried to respond with forward pressure, that classic Dutch aggression we've come to expect. But Dakota's movement, it was poetry in motion. She disrupted every attempt Georgina made to establish her rhythm. By the end of round 1, the message was sent. This wasn't going to be competitive. This was going to be a clinic.
Fast head there. Good push kick there from Ditcheva, setting up good hands as well.
Zet erop, zet erop. Omzetten weer. En achter je. Lijn op de.
Well, I think both girls happy to get released there.
Round 2. This is where Dakota began to turn the screws. She started mixing combinations together. Fast 1-2 punches followed by devastating low kicks that began to slow Georgina's movement. The Dutch fighter was tough, no question. She pushed forward, tried to close the distance. But every time she did, Dakota had an answer. Commentator, she's come out with a mission, hasn't she?
Definitely more focused Georgina coming out for this second round, Vinny. She's come out with a mission, hasn't she?
Yeah, she certainly has. She's trying to... He's scoring, just kind of smothering the work of Gina.
The defense was elite. Dakota slipped shots and returned fire instantly. This wasn't just about offense. It was about making Georgina miss and pay for every failed attempt. Then it happened. Just as Georgina started to find some rhythm, started to take the center of the ring. Commentator, knees are really starting to take toll on the Dutch girl just as she was starting to turn the tide. This girl's hurt, my friend.
And all of a sudden, the pattern you're now seeing is Georgina starting to take the centre of this ring.
But the good
and
knees
starting
now, Danny.
to come forward.
These knees are really starting to take toll on the Dutch girl. As she was starting to turn the tide, Ditcheva started to bring them knees in, and this Dutch girl's hurt, my friend.
She is, yes, Vinny. Well, fantastic round. That was exactly what we wanted to see from the Dutch girl to come out.
Dakota brought the knees. Brutal, calculated, devastating. By round 3, this had become a test of wills. Dakota continued to control the range, but now she added more aggression, longer combinations, forcing Georgina to fight on the back foot. 16 years old, and she was putting on a masterclass against a seasoned Dutch warrior. Round 4 was where Dakota's conditioning became a weapon. While Georgina showed incredible heart and resilience, the pace was clearly favoring Dakota. The sharp counters kept coming. The angles were perfect. And Georgina, she was starting to fade. Commentator, the young Dutch girl Georgina has blown a bit. She's fighting with her heart now.
Really took fire now, Danny.
The beginning of every round between these two girls has been so explosive, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable stuff. They both come out of the trap so fast, and I don't see the pace dying towards the end of the rounds either. These girls are two very well schooled and very fit young girls, believe me. You can tell that from the condition they're in as well.
Yeah, nice. This is where Dakota should score here.
Knees are so aggressive from Dakota, though.
Yeah.
The straight knee comes in, it looks devastating, doesn't it?
This is where she should be scoring. Just turning her back a little bit and not scoring.
Look at the body language. Georgina was fighting on pure warrior spirit at this point. But Dakota, she was just getting started. Commentator, hands down. Look at the body language of the young girl from Holland. She's just fighting with her heart. She's blown.
From herself, though.
This is where she should knee.
Yeah.
Score with the knee. It's only a young
hands down. Look at the body language of the young girl from Holland. She's just, like I said, she's just fighting with her heart.
Yeah.
She's blown. Where's this energy come to drag?
The punishment was piling up. Every round, Dakota was making a statement. This wasn't about survival. This was about domination. Round 5, the championship round. And Dakota knew exactly what to do. Finish strong. She stayed disciplined, stuck to the game plan, continued landing clean shots while staying defensively responsible. Commentator, she fights so well on the back foot as well, doesn't she?
Really nice body kick from Dakota.
Massive punch as well from Georgina there.
Yeah, hard right hand.
She is a warrior, Vinny.
She is.
And to be fair, she's pushed Dakota back to the ropes for the whole duration of this fight, Vinny.
Yeah.
But she fights so well on the back.
Georgina pushed forward with urgency. You have to respect the heart. But Dakota never panicked. She closed the round with confidence, leaving zero doubt in the judges' minds. Commentator, this is the first time that I've seen her look the most remotely tired in this whole fight. Even in fatigue, Dakota was still outworking her opponent. The atmosphere inside the arena shifted. Both fighters stood in the center of the ring, breathing heavily after 5 intense rounds of war. The referee called them forward as the judge's decision was about to be read. And then, the referee raised Dakota Ditcheva's hand, and the crowd erupted. She had done exactly what she promised, controlled the fight, stayed composed, outworked her opponent from start to finish. This was a hard-fought victory, earned through discipline, precision, and heart. Remember that bombshell message Georgina sent before the fight? Remember the confidence she had walking into this bout? Dakota answered it with 5 rounds of surgical violence. Georgina van der Linden learned that night what so many others would learn in the years to come. When you step into the ring with Dakota Ditcheva, you're not facing a fighter. You're facing a force of nature. So here's the terrifying part. That surgical precision, that calculated aggression, that absolute refusal to be flustered, that was just the prototype. If Dakota looked this dominant in her very first professional fight, imagine the weapon she has evolved into today. Over 15 wins, 9 knockouts, 0 losses. The Dutch challenger we watched that night in 2016 walked into a buzzsaw, and every fighter since has faced the same fate. Any challenger thinking about calling out Dakota Ditcheva today needs to watch this footage. Because if this is what she looked like at 16 years old in her debut, what chance do you think you have now? The storm isn't coming. The storm is here. Her name is Dakota Ditcheva. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're breaking down every knockout, every evolution, every moment that made her the nightmare she is today. The next chapter is already loaded. Click the video on your screen right now to see the knockout that everyone is still talking about.
Well, there was a potential comeback fight with Ronda.
Yeah.
How serious was that?
It was very serious.
How do you feel about that with Gina Carano?
I love that. I've always said that.
She said that if she was going to come back for any fight in MMA, it would be Gina Carano.
You could beat her, right?
I'm back.
The Ronda Rousey one didn't really bother me.
He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
I know what that is. She's a legend. I mean, I got nothing but love and respect for that lady. When she said, like, I wasn't an expert, everyone's entitled to their opinion, you know, but you got to understand why she thinks like that. Because she has a champion mentality. You never fought, you ain't shit. You know, it's real simple.
So the football guys always do that. You didn't play? You're like, yeah, but I...
Ronda Rousey, the most dominant female MMA fighter in history, is coming back. And Joe Rogan just watched her new training footage, and he is stunned. But here's where it gets even bigger. Rogan didn't just react, he sent a direct warning to the undefeated British sensation Dakota Ditcheva. And Dakota, she fired right back on Twitter. This is one of those moments, people. Stay with us. This is going to be a big one. Let's set the stage first. Ronda Rousey. The name alone still sends chills through the MMA community. The first ever UFC women's bantamweight champion. 12 wins, 9 by submission. A woman who literally changed the sport forever.
Big slow down. Can she do it right? Hip toss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
She walked away from MMA back in 2016 after back-to-back devastating losses to Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. She moved to WWE, dominated there, had 2 beautiful daughters, and built a life outside of fighting. But now, in early 2026, the announcement that